What's up, you freaking freaks? So today I have 3 stories from the hood that I wanted to share with you all today that involve knives, and one of them involves a knife fight. Now, I've been living in the hood for almost 2 years now, like a year and like 7 or 8 months or something like that. And all of these stories happened after I moved to the hood. So all of these stories have happened in less than 2 years of a time span. So that's pretty crazy. I guess the hood is pretty dangerous after all, huh? But here are my stories that I want to share with you all today. Starting off with the first story, there was this woman. When I first moved into the hood, when I first moved into the hood, I lived in this studio apartment that was right on this really busy street. And I remember there was like weird shit always going on there, like weird sketchy shit going on that street, like on that sidewalk and stuff. Then the only thing separating me from the sidewalk was this little tiny gate that didn't even lock. So I've had like random people knocking at my door before, but there's this one woman that was knocking on my door when I first moved in, begging for money and crying about how she needed money for the IRS or her kids were going to get taken away. And I don't know, there was something really sketchy about it. And I gave her some cash and she went on her merry way. And I was live streaming at that time. And I'm pretty sure it was pretty obvious that I was live streaming because I'm in a studio apartment. She opens the door and just sees all my equipment right there with the camera turned on and the microphone on. So nothing really happened. I don't know. Maybe this is all in my head. But then, like 7 months, 8 months later, like a long time later, like near the end of my lease of that studio apartment, she came back knocking on the door again, asking the same exact thing. And when I saw her through the peephole, knowing that it was her again, I recognized her. I got really paranoid because I don't know. The first time it seemed sketchy, and this time it seemed sketchy too. Because she was knocking at my door at midnight. Okay, midnight. She was banging on there at midnight, and I grabbed my pocket knife and I opened it up, and I opened the door and I held my knife up to the door, like kind of showing it, but kind of like being kind of like not showing it, like being like all in your face, like, what do you want? But just, holding it up on the door frame. And she started talking to me, being like, the same spiel that she said last time of, oh, I need cash or whatever because my kids are about to get taken away with the IRS or this or that. And then I was like, well, what do you mean you need cash? You said this to me before. And then I looked up at my knife and looked back at her. And then she looked up. When I looked at the knife, she looked at the knife. And then she looked at me really scared and started crying and I'm like saying, I'm sorry, I just really need money for my kids. I need money for gas, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. And she just started crying. And then she said, I'm sorry to bother you. And I bothered you, and then left. And I don't know. I kind of feel bad that I scared her, because what if she really did need money? But then, you know what made me kind of feel like, sketchy? Like, 10 minutes later, I was like sitting in my apartment just kind of listening to whatever goes on outside, because I do that sometimes. And I heard her talking to this dude, and he was being like, I don't know. I don't even remember what he was saying, but she said to him, "No, she's got a knife. I'm not gonna go back," or whatever. She said. She basically mentioned to him that I have a knife. So it's like, why is this guy telling this girl to knock on people's doors asking for money? What are they trying to do? Rob me? So I probably saved myself with that knife. You never know. The second story that I have for you guys. So when I first moved into the hood, I was kind of like more broke. Well, actually, I'm pretty broke now. I'm just as broke as last time, but I've just learned how to deal with being super broke. But back then, I didn't want to deal with it, so I started stripping. I only stripped for 6 months, but it wasn't for me. It's not for me. But I did strip for a short period of time, and one day when I came home from the strip club at like 3 in the morning, I parked my car, parallel parked it on that road that I used to live on, and this guy saw me park the car, and he looked and made eye contact with me through the window, And then he started to slow his walk down as he walked by me, walking slower and slower and slower until he passed my car. And there was a bunch of bushes on the side of the sidewalk, like, sidewalk, bushes, fence, you know what I mean? Um, and he started to hide behind a bush, but I could see his legs out of the side of the bush. And he was just standing there waiting, and I sat in the car for what felt like the longest 5 minutes ever, just staring in the rear view mirror, just staring at his feet, waiting to see what he was gonna do. And I don't know, it just felt like I was waiting forever and I had to go inside or something, and I got really paranoid. So I grabbed my pocket knife and I had it open because, I don't want to have to be like, flipping it open in the moment. So I already had it open, and I started to open up the door, and he immediately started coming out of the bushes and walking really fast up to me as I opened up my car door. And that's when I had my knife out on the window. Like, I started to close my door back, kind of like, blocking myself between him and my door. And I had my knife through the window, like showing him it through the window. And then he went, whoa, 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 whoa. I just want to know where your man's at. I just want to see what's up with where's your man? Why are you alone? Where's your man at? And I was like, he's inside. And he was like, okay, sorry to bother you, and left. Like, bro, that is not, if you're hiding behind the bushes, you don't have good intentions. Okay, you don't. Nope. I probably saved my ass that night with that knife. I probably, like, the girl that was knocking on my door, that's like, maybe I saved myself. But no, this dude hiding in the bushes, I saved myself from that guy. Like, danger. It's danger in the hood. Okay, so this last story, this happened in this apartment, actually, where I live now. I live in the hood again. It's a different hood. Probably a little bit worse than where I used to live, but I feel like I'm a little more, like, I'm not by an open street, so I'm not getting bothered by homeless people here, so. But, like, the first week that I moved into this apartment complex, there was these two guys. Okay, so in this apartment, it's very tiny, a tiny little studio apartment, and the windows in the bathroom are so fucking thin or something. Like, you can hear literally everything in the hall because the window is pointing to the hall, and you can hear everybody talking and everything in the hall. Like, I hear my neighbors arguing and fighting all the damn time. All the damn time. I literally listened to one of my neighbors beat up his girlfriend one time in the hallway. That was like 3 months ago. But I was sitting on the toilet, casually minding my own business, when I heard these two guys walking down the hallway screaming at each other, being like, I'll never hit a woman, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it sounded like they were arguing about the one guy hitting a woman or whatever, and the other guy being like, I don't know, they were just arguing about hitting women or whatever, and it started to escalate into fighting, and they were like, all right, you're gonna go? You wanna go then? Let's go. You wanna go then? Let's brawl out, whatever the fuck they were saying. And then the guy, like, I guess, opened up his apartment to go inside, and the other guy screamed, oh yeah, you're gonna go inside and get your knife then? You go and get your knife because you're a fucking pussy. Yeah, you're gonna go out there and grab your knife, blah, 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 blah. And they were just like, full out brawl. It sounded like they were about to start stabbing each other. And so I was thinking to myself, oh my God, World Star! Let me get this on camera. This is gonna be a crazy event. And I opened up my bathroom window because I didn't want to step outside. So I opened up my bathroom window, and it was my first time ever opening it, and it made the loudest squeak ever, and it went squeak, and then both of them instantly went silent, and then both of them ran. They both just darted off. They went quiet. They went silent and dipped. I don't know, maybe that stopped them from fighting, who knows, but, that was that. And then I was like, oops, and then I closed it. Crazy. Yeah, I've actually already told my Twitch chat these stories, like on Twitch. I love sharing my stories on Twitch about life and everything. So, if you ever want to be the first among the first to hear me talk about weird things that happen to me in life, check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/itspinky. And thanks for hanging out. If you got this far in the video, got to the end, then tell me, then comment, butterfly titty eyes. Comment butterfly titty eyes if you made it to this point in the video. I hope you all have a good day or whatever you're up to for today, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!